I call this story "The Team Has More Power Than It Thinks," and here's why. Last year, I was asked to help a consumer products distribution center reduce the time it took to respond to Amazon orders from 8 days to 4. They were being charged almost $2 million a year in fines because they weren't meeting the 4-day requirement from Amazon. Now, this distribution center was doing really well for companies like Walmart and Costco, where they supply full pallets of the same product on full truckloads to these companies. But if you order from Amazon like I do, you're typically buying 1 or 2 things at a time. And because of that, there has to be a label on every single product that this distribution center sent to Amazon versus one label for 150 products on the same pallet for Walmart. So this changed the way they did what they did, but they weren't really set up for that. So I proposed that we have a 3-day Kaizen event with a team made up of people from the distribution center, some people from their IT department, and some people from their corporate center, and to see if we couldn't come up with a way to reduce those 4 days. By the way, they were being fined on the order of $1.5 to $2 million a year, and the goal was to get that to 0. So it was pretty impactful Kaizen. So we got the team together, talked about new ways of thinking about how we move materials around warehouses, and then we took a walk through the warehouse to gather ideas that would help us reduce time. So we started in the office first, and we looked at how they receive orders from all the different customers. And it turns out that if an Amazon order came in after 6 p.m. any night of the week, the plant wouldn't see it until at least 8 a.m. the next day. Now, why was that? Well, it turns out orders from Amazon still were fairly limited, so they didn't have automated systems around that, and they had a person that took those orders and entered them manually into the system. Well, that person had to go home every day, and she usually went home by 6 o'clock and didn't come in till 8. So by that time, we'd lost 14 hours. And we saw a lot of other good opportunities out in the distribution center. So the team brought in all these ideas and they prioritized. But this 14-hour idea didn't get a lot of votes. And why was that? Well, the team didn't have the people in the room to solve the problem, or so they thought. So with a little bit of encouragement and maybe a little being pushy, I got them to think outside of their way of thinking and phone a friend. So the person that could help them with this was not available in the room. They could call that person. Turns out that person was out sick. So, never giving up, I said, well, somebody could go to that person's house and deliver chicken soup, or call them at home, or go up the chain to that person's manager. So nobody wanted to deliver chicken soup, so they did call the manager, who also was out. So before I could say another word, that team member said, okay, I'm going up the chain one more level to the vice president of distribution. So this was Sarah, our team member. She went out of the room and got on the phone while the other team was working on other projects. About 20 minutes later, Sarah came back in the room and said, hey, the VP says we've got somebody on our team that can approve our changes. That's Ruth. And Ruth said, oh yeah, I can help you. So Sarah and Ruth and the rest of the team agreed this was a great idea. Could we automate order entry like it was for Walmart and do it just for Amazon? That would take at least 14 hours out of the process. The good news is we had somebody from IT on the team who told us that it was about 10 minutes of effort to make a change in the program, and she made the change right then and there. From then on, that plus all the other changes the team made, the company has never been fined by Amazon for being late again. I hope this story provided you with some inspiration to revisit your own processes. I have a lot more I'd like to share. Head over to pi-partners.com to learn how I can help. And check back from time to time for more Kaizen stories.